going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Craftavore Tastes. And today we're digging into a new beer from Brix Brewing out of Little Ferry, New Jersey. This is Crickets and Cicadas. So Crickets and Cicadas is a 5% hoppy pale ale, brewed exclusively and double dry hopped with Motueka hops, man. So yeah, I picked up this can from the brewery just a couple of days ago, so super excited to dive into it. At 5% ABV, I'm expecting it to be super crushable. Poured it into the glass right before I started the video, and wow. So let's go through the drill: appearance, aroma, taste, and then of course we're going to rate it. But I mean, take a look at the color on that beer. Holy smokes, man. Wow. So the best way I can probably describe this beer is white, right? I've actually had a couple of New England style IPAs recently that I've done on the channel where I'm kind of like, yeah, there's like a milky whitish hue. This thing literally looks like if I took lemonade and, I don't know, maybe put a shot or two of milk straight into it. I swear to God. Super full-on haze. So, you know, Brick City kind of jumped into, you know, the haze game about 18 months to 2 years ago. And, you know, who can fault them? As I've said many times in many videos, that's what sells. That's what's flying currently. So, you know, more power to them. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty ridiculous color. It looks absolutely gorgeous. A milky white, almost, you know, hue. I poured this out not too long before I started the actual camera, and head has completely dissipated on it. So I'm assuming this is got a pretty heavy dose of oats in the malt bill. So let me just go ahead and kind of get things up there to see if I can get myself a head. And yeah, probably like a quarter to a half finger of head there. Beer looks super interesting. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and get an aroma. Yum, man. Wow. Huge, massive blasts of stone fruits. So like I'm getting a tremendous amount of like apricot, peach, maybe a little bit of pineapple, but it's mostly kind of stone fruits. Like almost like lychee with like a little bit of like lemon lime thing going on there. The stone fruit kind of aromas are like super delicate, and it smells really, really good. And what's really kind of cool about it is that I can get like a crisp crushableness like out of the aroma, if that makes sense. Like it's just the tropical, or rather the stone fruit kind of flavors are just what's the word that I'm looking for? Incredibly like bright and aromatic. It's really awesome, but there's still kind of like a little bit of delicateness there, right? Like I get like a little hinge of like almost like herbal dankness, like a little earthy dankness, but it's really down below on the bottom. What really pops up is that really kind of intense stone fruit aromas that just, frankly, they smell awesome. Yeah, man, wow. So that beer smells super, super good. Let's go ahead and give her a taste. Cheers. Okay, so first sip, a lot of those kind of stone fruit flavors pass through. Essentially, the taste is going to be extremely similar at what you're going to get out of the aroma and the nose. The one thing, and it's to be expected considering that this is a pretty simple single hopped 5% pale ale. Obviously, it's somewhere in the recipe. You know, this is going to be a super kind of aggressive double dry hop forward beer. To get it at that ABV, obviously something is going to have to give, right? And like with most New England style beers, whether it's IPAs or pale ales or double IPAs, you know, that malt build is going to be the thing that's going to give, right? And so, you know, what I'm getting out of this particular beer is that a little bit light on the malt bill. So kind of as that beer kind of follows through, your palate is almost trying to grab onto something else at the end. Like it's looking for just something a little bit more. And it's just simply not there. So what kind of ends up happening is that a beer finish is kind of super dry. I'm not going to say, I don't like to use this word because it comes across as a negative, but like it comes across bitter, right? And then almost kind of finishes a little chalky and a little astringent. All right, so I'm going back in for another taste. But yeah, it's crushable, man. Like, it's like, I mean, wow. I mean, I can destroy a 4-pack of that on like a really, really nice summer day. But, for what it has and what it does well in terms of that kind of just really nice punch of bright stone fruit, and crushable kind of crisp kind of flavor. It does lack a bit there in terms of the overall malt bill. No sweetness whatsoever. And so, yeah, your palate is just kind of, when it's middle of the palate and it's going down and you're kind of done, your palate almost screams to you what's next, right? It's looking for that next note, and it's just not there, right? So, but again, it's not so much of a knock and to say that, like, at the end of the day, for a 5% pale ale, you're going to kind of expect that more than you wouldn't, right, for a beer of this particular style. So, all right, let's go again and give her a rating. So Brix City Brewing Company, Crickets and Cicadas. Did want to mention Brix is actually really improving their can art. It gets better like every single time I head down there, which is kind of cool, and pick up cans. I never really get the references to the names. That might just show that I'm out of the demo or whatever. But anyway, rating. I think I'm pretty comfortable at, man, God, this is a tough one. 3.85? I could be hard-pressed to give it a 4. It's somewhere in between a 3.75 and a 4. I don't know where, though. And I don't know if it's closer to a 3.75 or if it's closer to a 4. So, let's call it like a 3.85. Right? I think I feel pretty comfortable with that. Again, it's really well done. It's a good beer for what it is. It just, for at least me, has me, asking for a little bit more, which I know is tough to do. But maybe next time they brew it, maybe bump up that ABV, maybe 5.5, 5.8, or whatever it may be, and see what happens. All right. So 3.85 caps for the Craftavore Tastes. That'll do it for this episode. I hope you join me again for another episode where I drink, I review, I rate, and then I repeat. Cheers.